Hello everyone, Mick here, and today I have a little showcase video of a Sudo-Instant 8-bit adder I've made. Or well, it can be as many bits as you want to, but okay, so first off I sort of want to show you what an adder is. So here I have a 4-bit adder. Basically, an adder is, in terms of electronics and redstone, a device that adds any given binary number together with another binary number. So it's basically like doing addition, and you can do a few other stuff. You can turn it into a subtractor, and you can make an ALU, which is an arithmetic logic unit, which it does like math and it does computer logics, and it's basically what you make a processor out of. But anyway, so if you start off here, everything is in binary, and I've labeled the numbers. So that's the 1-bit, it's 2-bit, 4-bit, 8-bit, and 16-bit. And I've labeled the inputs too. So if we take 1 and 2, that means we have now selected our green number, and I've made our green number 3. And if we then take 4 on blue and 1 on blue, we've now made 5 blue and 3 green, and we all know that should give 8. And there we go, we have an 8. Then one more thing you should know about an adder is that you can do carry in, which means exactly the same as adding 1. So whatever you have, it's just gonna add 1, which means we now have 9. Right. The carry out bit is this bit, and it's basically when you add two 4-bit numbers, your maximum output value will be in 5 bits. You can't output your maximum number from 4-bit plus 4-bit in 4-bit. That wouldn't make any sense. One way you can activate that is if you do on every bit you do 1, then you have filled everything up, and if you then do carry in, you now do output. This is known as a ripple carry adder, which means that every time you wanna carry over the output from a bit, which is the carry bit, like the carry function, that's basically this line on all of them. So every time you wanna carry over, it carries it 1 over, and then checks again basically if it has to carry it 1 more over. That's why it's called a ripple carry adder. It sort of ripples its way through. Infamous for being one of the slowest adder designs ever made, really. But I have the solution right here. I'm gonna come back to it. This is a 1-bit full adder basically. I want to show you sort of what this is made up of. It's made up of these instant inverters. So a torch in Minecraft inverts your input, and this is just here so you can reference the speed. This entire big thing is an inverter. So if I invert here, you will actually see that the build-up inverter is faster than the torch by quite a bit. And it's the invert part, going from powered state to unpowered state. That's the part we care about. Going from unpowered to powered state is basically always instant. This is the same thing as that one, but this is a more vertical design that fits in narrow spaces. And as you can see, it is again faster than a normal torch. And this is known as what is called an instant repeater, and it's basically just a way of refreshing redstone signal instantaneously. So these three devices together make this Sudo-Instant sort of logic gate full ladder. I'm gonna do a sign just for good measure. That's the one. Oh, didn't make a 1. That's the one. And then for now we're just gonna take and do like this, and do 2, because that would be the carry 2-bit. And I'm gonna do a lamp, and obviously this would be just 1. Right, so this is the full ladder. 1 is equal to 1. The other one is equal to 1. Both of them are equal to 2. And if you add a carry into that, it's obviously gonna be 3. So both of them together, because it's 2 plus 1. Carry in is always 1. And I say it's pseudo-instant for unknown reasons I haven't been able to figure out. It takes 1 tick to go through the carry line. So the slowest thing you can do with this thing is 1 tick, which, I mean, it's still faster than pretty much all adders. I know some people have made actual instant adders, but this was the best I could do. So you can do, I mean, anything with this really. If you want to, let's say, add, let's say 9 plus, let's do 9 plus 7, which is 3 and then 4. So 9 plus 7 should be 16, which, as you can see, it is. And then if we add 1 to that, it will turn on the first bit here pretty much instantly. These are just hooked up, that's why I was explaining this one. These are just hooked up in a completely standard ripple carry fashion. And then I think for reasons I'm not quite sure I can understand, I think the ripple carry is adding 1 tick somewhere. Also, it does take time for resetting. Resetting is not instantaneously, so you wouldn't be able to like fire a calculation instantaneously, because falling edge on this thing is not instantaneous. And I can actually show you this pretty neatly, because as I showed on the other one, if you enable all of the bits and do carry in, you get Carryout, which means it's gonna ripple the entire carry whenever I flick on and off the input here, the carry in, that is. So if you look here, you can't actually see the output. The output is up there, but trust me, it does actually activate. That's rather instantaneous, right? I'm pretty sure that's 1 tick, unfortunately. And then obviously it's not instantaneous all the way up. I did try to make a more compact version, but the issue with this one is that if I look here, whenever this part of the basically the second half of the full ladder, the second XOR gate, whenever it's generating a carry, it doesn't actually reach up here. And I can show you this extremely easily by, well, it's already in that state, but if you do this and then this, that's carry plus 1, which means it's 2. That's gonna generate a second half carry basically. It's a little bit confusing, but you see it only makes it to around about here, and it needs to make it all the way up here. I'm sure somebody more talented than me can make that work. Would actually be kind of amazed to see somebody take their own take on this entire thing. I know I'm not entirely done with it yet. I'm gonna maybe even make an entirely new XOR design and go from there. But you know, these are just sort of the building blocks. I don't think you need much more than this, honestly. I just fell kind of short with the space I had. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mick, and I hope you learned, hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next video.